down, Bears fans? Another edition of the Chicago Bears podcast coming your way. Have the designer Shea Norling in the building off of a Bears dominant win over a team they should have beat in the Cleveland Browns. But got to talk about how, in fact, they got it done. I think there are a lot of good things we could pull from this game. Also, take a look at the week ahead, because it's going to be interesting now with, literally 5 minutes of football, real time. All the teams that the Bears have upcoming lost somebody. So we'll see what ends up happening there. All that and more on today's episode of the Chicago Bears podcast. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. I know what to do. Shea,
what's up?
Sweater. Look at you.
Thank you.
You're just coming in debonair.
It's the holidays,
word, right?
Debonair, yeah. It's the holidays, man.
You're a sweater guy during the holidays?
Success. Who isn't a sweater guy during the holidays?
I'm not a sweater guy.
You wore a sweater last week.
I wear sweatshirts, not a legit sweater.
Oh, well.
You're going legit sweater.
QZ.
Yeah, a little quarter zip action.
What are you going to do?
I'm not mad at it.
Well, nor should you be.
I'm not mad at it. Shout out to you.
I don't understand.
I was complimenting the
You look
sweater.
nice as well in your varsity jacket.
Shea had no idea how to take the compliment. He's waiting for the joke to come. It's just a nice sweater.
I felt like I was going to step on a rake somewhere.
No, there was no joke. It's a nice sweater.
I'm always looking for the rake. What are you going to do?
And let's jump into a little bit. What'd you see this Sunday, Shea? I mean, Bears go out there, they get the job done. I thought it was a good effort offensively. I think, if anything, that's really the part that we can talk about and say you saw some good things there versus the second best defensive football. Defensively, you did what you were supposed to do. I mean, that offensive line was destroyed. Shedeur Sanders is up and down. And Stefanski hates him.
What part of Shedeur Sanders is up?
Hey, I'll tell you what, not the wristband that's supposed to be on his wrist that Kevin Stefanski apparently didn't give him with the right play.
If you're the quarterback and you don't know that the wristband that you have on pregame has the wrong plays on it, brother, I got a question if you're even getting ready for anything during the week. I don't know. I'm not gonna do the Shedeur stuff because I think it's turned into piling on. The reality is he's not very good. A lot of people in the media fooled themselves and people into believing that he is really good. He's not. He's a bad quarterback. He's like slow Justin Fields. Those interceptions yesterday were absolutely egregious.
Yeah, the 1-2. Well, I mean, the Jalen Johnson one was not. And that one just kind of fell into Jalen's lap.
Yeah, with the two were
the
egregious.
Hair fanning one where he literally was like, "I'm gonna keep throwing to my favorite receiver," and DeMarco Jackson was like, "I'm gonna just sit here."
The one that Gardner Johnson got was insane. The Judy throw. I mean, my God. Judy, catch the football. Holy Lord. I'm watching it and I'm like, God damn, are the Bears charmed in the turnover department? My goodness. Because, even when Judy drops the ball and it bounces off of his balls, it falls into Jalen Johnson's breadbasket. I'm like, how does this? Whatever. You ride it till the Bronco bucks you off, I guess. But maybe it won't. Maybe this is just going to be the case for this year and the Bears are going to be charmed in the turnover department. It's awesome. But yeah, Shedeur, bad. And I can already hear people, we didn't have his offensive line. What do you expect? Dude, he had the pass protection for 8 seconds on a couple plays. He's just dancing around in the backfield until he takes a set. He's not good. Offensively, I thought the Bears were really impressive.
Yes.
And it was probably the best game Caleb has played under Ben Johnson, which would make it the best game Caleb has played, I think.
Yeah. Jaguars game maybe in there. I guess if you want to go Bengals, maybe one of those. But again, under Ben Johnson with Bengals. So
in the context of doing it against a top defense, the way that he was able to do it, the way it looked, it was really on time. He could get to the exceptional when he needed to get to the exceptional. Through DJ Moore was incredible.
That was insane.
My thoughts on the game, honestly, Pat, are minimal. You went out against a bad team and you drilled them. That's what good teams are supposed to do. My thoughts this week are the biggest story for the Bears took place in Denver, where Micah Parsons tore his ACL. So now if you're a Bears fan, win this division. That's it. The Packers are down their best tight end, who was their most productive weapon. Tucker Kraft tore an ACL. He's not coming back. They're probably, at least for a week, down Christian Watson. Because I don't know how you leave the game in an ambulance and then in a short week play on a cold night and Saturday at Soldier Field. And they will be down Micah Parsons, their best defender, as well as Devontae Wyatt. Yeah. And you damn near beat them in their own house when they had Micah Parsons. So now go win on Saturday and go win this division.
Yeah, there's an opportunity for you to do, which you've kind of been doing the last couple of weeks, and assert your dominance now over the NFC North. I don't know if we're going to be able to get back to the point where, you win the division or you win the NFC, I should say, just because of kind of how the rest of the schedules play out. I mean, the Seahawks have a pretty favorable schedule the rest of the way. The Rams, even though they lose Devontae Adams, they kind of have a nice schedule the rest of the way. You have the tougher of the three, and if all three of you went out, one of those two. Well, I guess the Rams and the Seahawks play this week, so whoever wins that probably ends up winning the NFC if they win out.
Winning the 1 seed.
Winning the 1 seed, yeah. But you have put yourself in a position by winning this game, and by winning this game in the manner that you did, where I think a lot of Bears fans should feel confident that you can control your own fate the rest of the way. I mean, as much as we want to say it's the Browns and they're a 3-win team, that defense is ridiculously good.
Yeah, it's a good unit.
And you went in there and you didn't beat them by letting them dictate what you should do. And I think that's the most important part. Most of us probably going into that game were like, you got to run the football here. You need to be leading run, or you're going to have a tough time moving the football on this team. Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams went in there and said, we're going to slap you around. Offensive line, Ozzie Trapillo, heck of a day. We're going to slap you around, and we're going to dictate policy. We're going to throw the football, and we're going to be a explosive offense through the air just about all day. That's probably not the storyline most people thought was going to be here coming out of this. I'll say this, Shea, that's the kind of game that tells me the second half of that Packers game is real, and this may be where you're playing your best football in December, as Ben Johnson said.
I already thought that the second half of the Packers game was real. I said, that Packers game to me was a credibility spot.
100%.
It was you proved that what you did to the Eagles wasn't fake because you went out and out-toughed the Packers in the second half of the game, and it didn't result in a win. But it
makes me laugh every week that you were 100% right. They broke the tush push. That makes me laugh so much now.
They did. They did. They completely did. I mean, when I started seeing Eagles fans saying, we don't want to run this anymore, just ban it. I'm like, okay, yeah, it's broken.
Jalen Hurts is we got to figure something out offensively. That's
dude.
Bad.
It's amazing.
Dennis
Allen solved it. I think the Giants did it, and then they got the horrible call in the forward progress. Yeah. But then Dennis Allen was like, no, we'll do that, and now it's solved. So they're done. No, they proved it wasn't fake with what they did in the second half against Green Bay, and then you answer that with, all week people were like, is this a trap game? Is this a trap game? And it was kind of a classic spot.
It would have been.
Where you're sandwiched between Packers games. You're coming off an emotional loss. The second half of that game, the way it ended, big-time spot back home, maybe a little sleepy, cold. And you've
definitely cold.
You're facing a top defense, Shedeur, young quarterback, nothing to lose. The team on the whole, there's nothing to lose. And you went and you took care of your business. So I think it just proved the legitimacy continues to stack. Yeah. They keep earning credibility in ways that are undeniable. And I think that's the impressive part, because throughout the early parts of the win streak in October, early November, you could look at it and go, well, who are they really beating? How are they winning these games? Yeah. There's a lot of luck involved in some of these spots, and that's not me taking a shot. It's just it was. Yeah. You go +3 in the turnover differential in 4 straight games, you're just not going to do that. It doesn't happen. And I do question if it can happen in the playoffs, but we'll find out, and they've earned the right to have us find out because they've proven over the last 3 weeks in body bag in Philly, standing on their own 2 feet and punching Green Bay in the face despite the loss at Lambeau, and then body bagging a bad team, you go, okay, we're these are the credibility things that we needed to see that proved this team is legit.
Yeah. And as we finish out the year, I think, you've put yourself in a situation that, now nobody can take it. Every narrative that they wanted to put on you, right? I think even the takeaway narrative at this point, takeaways don't happen at this rate. Sometimes they do, and we've seen that here in Chicago before. When Urlacher and Briggs were here and Peanut and all, the takeaways seem to always come in bunches. This Bears team seems very reminiscent of that, nowhere near as dominant, I think, especially on the defensive line. But when you talk about taking advantage of getting turnovers, credit Al Harris, credit Dennis Allen. Al Harris said early on in the season, it doesn't matter who you're playing against. If you play the system the right way, the ball will find you. And literally to this point, I think we've seen that time and time again. So, like, I feel like there's this world where the turnovers probably can continue. I look at this and say that the last-minute losses that you had last season, you've destroyed that narrative. And now I think there's the one of the Bears are willing to play down to the competition that we saw early on in the season. And not to say they were playing down, but I think there was just a lot of timing issues. There was a lot of disjointedness that usually worked itself out during the game. The game versus the Browns versus that defense, I thought you had perfect timing on just about everything. I thought that Caleb Williams had the magic moments when you needed it, and the moments where you're sitting there going, you had an opportunity for a big play and didn't take advantage of it. They're because of an Olamide Zaccheaus drop. They're because of a Kyle Monungai drop. They're because, like the play is running perfectly, but you got to bring the football in. Those are moments that can hurt you moving forward, but I thought you established dominance and you never let it go. We don't see the Bears do that very often. Mm-hmm. So it was good to see that in this game. I think that's going to be the biggest thing with the 3 games left on the season moving forward. I mean, you got San Francisco, you've got the Packers this week, and then you got the Lions. It's going to be 2 of those are divisional games. They know everything about you. You know everything about them.
Yeah.
It's going to be, can you assert your dominance and maintain that dominance for 4 quarters?
Well, and the key really is going to be, like, it's 3 teams that don't turn the ball over.
Yeah.
The Packers don't turn the ball over. I know Jordan Love has a couple interceptions, but they don't, on the whole, they don't turn the ball over. The Lions don't turn the ball over very much. The Niners don't turn the ball over very much. So this is where it's like it's not cutting time, and you got to really show you can do it without generating the turnovers, or can you force teams that don't do it into doing it?
Yeah.
Because the problem I always have, like, I'm going to push back on the narrative thing, that it's a narrative that you can't turn the football over this much. It's not a narrative. It's factually true. It's never sustainable. Historically, throughout the history of the NFL, there has never been a team that's been able to repeat it. What I would say, though, is like 30 turnovers this year, 30 takeaways,
yeah.
You're not getting 30 takeaways next year.
You're not getting 30 again. I will agree with that.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
You're not going to live going +3 in the turnover margin in what it's going to be. It's going to end up being like 13 of 17 games.
Yeah.
They're going to be +3 or better in the turnover margin. That's never going to happen again. You're never going to see it because, like, as much as, how can I frame this? Turnovers to an extent are creatable. There are takeaways that defenses create. But I think the majority of them you're not necessarily creating.
Yeah.
A quarterback has to throw the ball to you, like yesterday when Shedeur threw it to C.J. Gardner-Johnson. If Shedeur throws it anywhere else, it's not a takeaway.
Yeah.
But that he did it. The Jerry Jeudy interception is a perfect example of the
That's a turnover, not a takeaway.
The ball is shaped funny and bounces in a certain way. Same deal like Jaden Daniels putting the ball on the mat on a mesh handoff.
Right.
The ball is shaped funny and bounces a certain way. If it bounces the other direction than it did, then it stays with Washington. So it's just the margins that these things exist on. You're never going to replicate it. So it's not a narrative. It's just factually, this isn't long-term. Like, you're not going to have a 3-year identity where you take the football away.
Right.
That said, it is who they are this year, and I can't invent a pass rush. Like, I'm not going to snap my fingers and you're going to have a D-line. So the path to winning games this season is taking the ball away by any means necessary. And they've done it. And you just have to tip your hat to it. They credit the defense around a nose for the football.
Yeah, listen, and what I will say is, right, my only pushback is I agree with you. There are some that
I just really
favors you.
I just hate the word narrative. I really do. I can't stand it.
I just think that it's for me with calling it a narrative, it's because early in the year, week 4, people were like, this is not sustainable. And I'm like, I've seen this be sustainable. We've seen this be sustainable time and time again in the Chicago Bears. The one thing to me that is sustainable, this year maybe you're getting a little more lucky than what you'll get in years to come.
Sure.
You can continue to lead the NFL in takeaways year after year. You can continue to be one of the best takeaway teams in football year after year.
See, that's where I disagree. I don't think that it's possible. And I would love, I'm going to look at the last time a team went back-to-back leading the league in
takeaways. Let's see. But like, I mean, here's the thing, though. The identity of some of these defenses is that they take the football away, right? Like, we've seen that with the Steelers year after year, where maybe you're not number 1, but you're top 5. Like, I think that, to me, is you're able to replicate that where you stay around that top territory. And the Bears are going to be adding next season, hopefully, to this pass rush. It should be the first pick you make in the first round of the draft. The Bears are going to be adding, you would hope, to this linebacker room, even though you found some really nice pieces here for depth with DeMarco Jackson being able to step up and make plays. Like, I think that there is a version of this defense that this is the beginning of it. And they're going to continue to improve, and maybe it's not 30 takeaways next year. Maybe it's 22 to 23 takeaways. That's still really good, and that's still giving your offense an opportunity to go down the field and do what they did yesterday, which I believe is the first time we've seen the Bears do this season, score 6 on every single one of those turnovers. Like, that to me is the most important part of what winning that turnover battle is.
So the last time it happened, and the only time I think it's happened, 2022 and 2021, Dallas led. But even then, their
Trayvon Diggs, and then you had
he stinks, by the way. Their turnover differential went down year over year too. Like, it just typically, you see here, 2023. I believe this was year 1 Dable.
Yes.
This would have been year 2. The Giants led the league in takeaways at 31.
That's when they went to the playoffs, right, with Daniel Jones.
2024, they were bottom 5 in takeaways. Like, that's what I think you're going to see more commonly is one year you get you get a ton of them, and the next you get Bears were number 1 in 18, 2019 bottom 10. Like, more typically, that's the way it goes.
But again, I think that's because you're going backwards, right? Like okay. To me, like that I think
I don't want to get lost in the sauce on it, because the whole point I'm making is I'm pushing back against the idea that it's a narrative.
You think that it's something that is
It's true. A historical fact that you can't rely on this year over year. But the broader point of what I'm making is it's who you are right now.
Yeah.
It's who you are in 2025.
It's how you win,
So I'm not going to sit here and say that. And again, like, it's your only pathway to beating real teams because you don't have a pass rush and we can't invent one.
Yeah.
So it's like, if who you are is a team that's going to have a nose for the football and get after it, then be that team. I'm not going to sit here and say you can't do it the rest of this year. Of course you can. You've done it to this point.
What may also change, too, is we don't know if Al Harris is going to be here for the long term. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, Al Harris maybe end up getting poached. You got to find a way to keep him away from Green Bay, because I'm not going to lie to you. I think Hafley's got to get shipped out. Well, I don't know. That coach,
Hafley's they got one of the best defenses in football.
And I'm going to tell you what, though, dog. Like, we're going to see where he's at right now. You lose Michael Parsons and you made that gamble.
You think Jeff Hafley's going to get fired?
I think there's a chance.
I think he's got a better chance to become a head coach. Dude, you're out of your mind. They've been one of the best defenses in the league.
Listen, they get after it. But you got to show what you can be without that guy out there.
What are we doing here?
How are you going to scheme this defense? Were they a great defense last year?
Yes. They were a very good defense last year.
They were a fine defense last year.
They were top 5 against the run.
They were gettable last season.
Pat, they were such a good defense last year that when they traded for Micah Parsons this past offseason, I had Bears fans telling me they just blew it up because they're going to miss Kenny Clark, and now they can't stop the run anymore.
Yeah, but they couldn't stop the pass last year.
I can't do it.
It's why they got rid of Jair Alexander.
I don't want to.
What are we talking about?
They got rid of Jair because he sucks. But their corners
and they were taking advantage.
Their
of
corners suck this year too. But the idea Jeff Hafley's going to be fired. What are we talking about?
Well, we'll see. We'll see where it plays.
Aaron Glenn lost all his toys on his defense, and he became a head coach.
Now, that is true. If we follow that, the Jets will hire him.
If they lose Jeff Hafley, it's because somebody's hiring him. It's not because he's getting fired. I think he's awesome, by the way, Hafley.
Do you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think he's great.
I
don't know what the hell happened with Bo Nix yesterday, turning the clock back to Oregon days. That was crazy.
I'm telling you, like, when you see him. And again, like, it's not that he's horrible, but I think when you see them versus some of these teams that can punch back, the defense starts to look a lot more human.
No, they clamped the Lions. They shut the water off on Gibbs.
They did kill the Lions. I'll give them that.
They were owning them up the middle. All year, they've been a stellar defense. Offensively, they've been up and down a little bit, but I think all year they've been stellar.
It is funny to me, though, like, we're heading into this week, and, like, it's weird to me, right? Like, if you're a Super Bowl caliber team, everybody was talking about a Super Bowl caliber team. Like, yes, you lose a major piece, but it took you out the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Yeah. That means you have no belief that Jordan Love is that guy.
No,
like, belief that Jordan Love is the one. Like, I didn't think that Micah Parsons was the reason. I thought he was the guy that you felt put you over. It felt like Packers fans went, well, have a great season. It was fun while it lasted.
Yeah.
It's over. Like, we're done. Like, we're not even going to be a contender to get to the NFC title game this year.
Like, Myles Garrett's going to break the sack record.
100%.
I believe last I checked, do you know who the highest graded pass rusher at PFF is?
Micah probably this year. Yeah.
He's got 12.5 sacks. He's like close to the league in pressures. He impacts the game so much.
Yeah.
And he's the key to so much of what they have to do defensively. I do. Like, that's why I started this by saying I think the biggest story for the Bears yesterday happened in Denver.
Yeah.
And it was Micah Parsons going down. And it's now you're not a 3.5-point favorite at home. You're a dog at home. You're a 1.5-point dog at home. And I think I always thought the Bears were going to win this weekend. I said, I think you're going to split. The home team's going to win each of them. Now I really think the Bears are going to win on Sunday.
Yeah.
Or Saturday.
I think there's a real opportunity to really separate yourself from the pack at this point. And that's like the one thing that I love about it too, and we've continued to have this conversation week over week. Like, I keep saying I don't think that you're at the coaching disadvantage in any game you're in. Like, at a minimum, maybe you feel like they're even, but like how Ben Johnson absolutely picked apart everything that Cleveland wanted to do defensively. And it wasn't just, right, like I feel like it was all of the plays that he has off of the first plays he runs, right? Yeah. Like the multitudes that he's able to get to with, okay, this end around didn't work over here, but we're going to run it a different way, and now it's a 12-yard gain for DeAndre Swift on this, and just Caleb Williams taking the easy plays. And I think, we've talked about how good the offense looked, but like, to me, the biggest difference was Caleb Williams was killing the layups. Colston Loveland underneath, Luther Burden underneath. Just get the ball to your playmakers and let them make plays. That's great versus a pass rush that will get after you. And, I mean, it sacked Drake May 5 times. Like, it sacked Drake May, what was it, 6 times, 7 times?
Now, Drake May is one of the most sacked quarterbacks in football.
100%. But even so, just how that team is played, like, that was a crazy day that you didn't expect that to be a competitive game, especially with how you've seen them play over the past few weeks. Like, I love how Ben Johnson attacked that defense, and I think it's something that you can maintain the rest of this year, feeling good, Bears fans, that you're going to probably have maybe Kyle Shanahan in them is even, but you're probably going to have the coaching advantage the rest of the way.
We'll see. I'm still not ready to go there. I love what Ben does offensively, obviously. Defensively, I think Dennis Allen's great. One of the things he did yesterday I thought was really interesting was early in the game, they were running away from Myles Garrett and just leaving him unblocked, which, like, overloading the right side, you run a misdirection with Swift, and Myles Garrett's off the edge unblocked, and you've just completely removed him from the play. The way that they just eliminated the best player on the field defensively, and it's hard to do when it's Myles Garrett. That was really impressive. So I felt good about it. And, more so than like the coaching advantage or the coaching matchup or the chess match, whatever, like Ben Johnson's proved so much of that to me already. Yeah. I'm not going to sit here and tell you got an edge coaching going into San Francisco. I don't believe that. If anything, it's a wash. Like at the very the highest compliment I could give
San Fran,
is
you're probably
wash.
Even. Yeah.
I would still probably lean the San Francisco side just because you talk about a team that's lost everything and just keeps finding ways to win.
Yeah.
Shanny's done an incredible job this year, and you have to go on the road. But again, they've done so much of the work to this point that now all you got to do is go 1-2 in these last 3, and you're going to probably be in the playoffs. One
of them got to be a divisional game, though.
Yeah, I mean, if you
Lions or it's got to be.
If
Packers.
you beat the Packers on Saturday, it's almost impossible to find. Now, like obviously, the Lions, if they win both of their games up to the finale, there's a world where. But even then, it gets difficult because the Lions really need the Packers to beat you if they want to have any hope of getting in. They won't own tiebreakers against Green Bay. So I don't know. I'm just at a point now where the playoff odds, it seems pretty certain, and they've proven they belong and they're legitimate. And I'm really like the way things have broken for the Packers losing Kraft and Watson and Parsons. there's no reason the Bears can't win this division.
Did we get an update on Reed at the end of the game as well? He like limped off on that last.
I think he's fine.
Interception that he got pulled.
He's always hurt.
It's. I'll tell you what, man. It's a new day in the NFC North, and it's an exciting time to be a Bears fan because it truly feels like while your uptick is going up, a lot of teams came back to earth. And the beginning of the season, that was kind of. I think me and you both were on that. Not that the Bears were going to be. We did say, what'd you have, 9 wins for the Bears this year?
10.
10 wins.
But I remember I took a cop-out pathway. I refused to make a pick, and I just said I demand 10 wins because I said this isn't a rebuild. This is like what I wouldn't accept was the idea this was some transition year or a rebuild. You hired the most expensive coach. You had the 5th most expensive defense. You'd spent the first-round pick on the quarterback already. You've had a year of it. Like I needed 10 wins and I needed playoffs. I got 10 wins. We'll see if I get playoffs.
And it was a lot of our prediction on it was based on everybody else kind of coming back down to earth. You know, we played, who was the team last year? AFC South? Or no, NFC South, right? You played the NFC South last year. It was almost 4 wins guaranteed pretty much. You know what I mean? Like, there was so much opportunity for you to beat up on them, and you took care of it. Like, those are the things where I was like, oh, well, everyone else is going to – no, it was AFC South because we had the Jags. Mm-hmm. We had all of them.
Right.
I figured, the Packers come back down to earth a little bit. The Lions come back down to earth a little bit. And you moved up in a bigger way than we thought you were going to. And I think that Packers game last week said it all. Like, it was like, you can throw punches, we can throw punches too. Who's going to be standing at the end? They were standing at the end. And I love how DeMarco Jackson said it the other day. Like, it left a bad taste in our mouth. You want to talk about this game being a must-win? We desperately need it. This is your must-win situation here if you're the Chicago Bears. So hopefully they're able to find a way to get it. Let's do our underdog play here real quick for tonight. Is this a set it and forget it night, Shea?
Probably.
Has
been so far.
Pittsburgh and Miami. Is this a set it and forget it night?
You're not gonna watch?
I'm watching. I mean, I watch every Monday night game. I'm a sycophant, Shea.
I'm a little intrigued by it.
Are you?
Yeah, I think it's interesting because look, man. I mean,
Miami's been on a little bit of a run here.
The Steelers are trying to put the North away.
Yeah,
and Miami just won't. Miami's not out of anything here. Won, I think 5 straight. They're 6-7 now. They might save McDaniel's job if they can get to 9 wins. Maybe they have a chance at getting into the playoffs in the AFC.
Did I text you when I think I texted you and I was like, they're gonna win probably 8 of their next 9 games. And I said to everybody's like, you're nuts. There's no way they do. I was like, dog, there's a lot of bad football teams on this schedule.
It's really impressive what they've been able to pull off, and I don't buy that Pittsburgh's all that good. And look, like people say, well, Miami can't win in cold weather. They went and kicked the Jets' ass last week in cold weather. Now, the Jets are no good, but like, man, it's been a nice little run here. And they are by no means done. Like, they are mathematically eliminated from nothing.
Yeah.
So that part of it, I am a little intrigued to watch. It's going to be ugly. It's not a particularly good football game, but I have fantasy implications too. Matter of fact,
are you doing a little fantasy championship run here?
Can I wish cast for
some fantasy? Yeah. Let's do it.
Let's do Jalen Waddle yards higher.
Ooh, 62.5 receiving yards. Go higher on that.
Jalen Waddle touchdowns higher.
Oh, a little double on there.
Yeah.
Now, how?
What if we just load up on Jalen Waddle and we do receptions?
You got to throw one Steeler in there, but you can go under on it.
We do higher receptions, higher a touchdown, higher yards. We'll just load up on Jalen Waddle.
Now, how confident you feeling on the touchdown? Because I did this yesterday. I told people 4.5. I got a little cold feet on it. I went 3.5. The 3.5 hit on receptions. You trying to up this at all? Do you feel like this is a massive day for Waddle? Maybe touchdown. You go over higher than 1.5.
No way.
You don't think it's a 2 touchdown day for Jalen Waddle?
Never do 2 touchdowns for a receiver.
All right. Okay. All right. What we got here?
We're just wish casting a fantasy championship.
Receptions. You want to go 5.5?
Sure,
or 4.5?
Let's do it. Let's go 5.5.
Why not?
Higher 5.5.
And
we're gonna get 6 catches, 75 yards, and a tug for Jalen Waddle, and I'm gonna advance in my fantasy playoffs.
You got to pick one Steeler here. Do you go Kenneth Gainwell lower receiving yards?
What the hell?
26.5 receiving yards. That's nasty work. Aaron Rodgers.
Can we do Rodgers higher on interceptions?
Ooh, let's see. Boom. Higher on interceptions thrown. Hey, Shea, I'll tell you what. You play $20 on that. It'll get you $108. It's not a bad day.
$108?
It'll get you $108. Oh, but Shea, there's more.
That'll buy you dinner.
That'll buy you dinner. And if you add the 40% profit boost that they have, Shea, right there, $20 pay you $144.
That's incredible.
That's not a bad night.
Yeah, that'll buy you dinner.
Jalen Waddle, you have to have a night, sir.
Wish casting.
that's just for Shea.
God forbid. Now he's gonna.
Tua's gonna throw 7 interceptions all Waddle's direction.
I know, dude. Waddle's gonna come up lame on a hamstring on the first route he runs because we played this.
That is how it feels sometimes. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's like you got hurt because I put this in, didn't you?
Yep.
What was it? My guy had he was one away on 1.5 yards away on Christian McCaffrey higher. Would have paid out nice $1,000. Dang you, CMC. Hey, man, make sure that you guys download the app today. Sign up with the promo code CBP to score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. There's promo code CBP. Underdog. Make picks, win money. EOQ, the disclaimer. Must be 18 years or older, 19 or older in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 or older in Colorado for some games, 21 or over in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
I love that my husband's so handy. He leaves more money for the important stuff. Whoa. Gosh darn it, Steve.
Ow. Don't be like Steve. Call Avondale Roofing. DIY is for Pinterest, not your roof.
Welcome back in Chicago Bears podcast. Pat the designer, Shea Norling, back at it again. All right, let's finish it out with this, Shea. I think that you got some questions answered in this game offensively. To me, this has been one of the biggest questions that people have had on this team. Can we finally put to bed the fact that DJ Moore hates it here and that he's a part of the offense? Because I think people see a day where maybe you're running, as J-Mac called it, love of the game routes, as the route that he caught, right? A hero post. Yeah. You're running a route to clear somebody else out, and they say, he's not a part of the game plan. There's no way that you do this to your number one wide receiver. Well, if everyone else is eating, I don't think Ben Johnson cares that much. No. Like, money does not matter. Does not mean he's not a part of the game plan. I think that DJ Moore is a key piece for this team moving forward. And if you get into the playoffs, you're definitely going to need him. Yeah,
this year. Beyond this year, I have no idea.
Maybe, right. Like, you never know. There are bigger needs that DJ Moore's, Jalen Johnson's contracts can help facilitate. Correct. If you needed to.
Yeah, 100%. And look, DJ's going to have games where he has 2 touchdowns, and he's going to have games where he has 1 catch. Yeah. It's the way this offense goes. We're going to feed the hot hand. We're going to run things for certain people. Ben Johnson's so into the chess match and the mismatches and abusing them and using them. There will be days Luther Burden's going to be a 6-catch guy.
100%.
There will be days like Colston Loveland is a 5-6-catch guy. So everybody's going to be involved to an extent. Like you said, the love of the game routes, the clearing people out. Yeah. One of the first plays of the game where Kyle Monangai dropped the screen pass was DJ Moore running a clear out.
It was so beautiful.
The receivers move everybody to the left, and there's no one except guys who are accounted for on the right, and it's Monangai. If he catches it, it might have been 6 points.
It was probably 6. Although he may get caught. Kyle doesn't have breakaway speed, but it was
play,
so beautiful.
Like if that play works and you end up scoring on it, and then you look at the end of the game and you go, man, Monangai's got a catch here for 60 yards and a touchdown, and DJ can't get involved. It's like, well, DJ was a key piece of actually having that play work. Yeah. So it's team game, man. And like Ben said after the Packer game, he looked at the box score and goes, how did that happen? 1 catch, -4 yards. Yeah. We wanted to get DJ involved. So it's just the plays are going to develop the way that they develop. I know something I think about a lot is Joe Brady and Josh Allen had a conversation that they've talked about a couple years ago when they moved on from Stephon Diggs. And he was explaining to Josh Allen, like, you don't need to feel like if a play is run for, we'll use Steph Diggs. If a play's run for Steph Diggs and you don't get to him, that it's your job to get back to him.
Right.
I will get back to him. You just go play. And I think that's what's going on in Ben Johnson's offense is like you run a play for DJ and maybe it doesn't develop and it's not there and you end up having to check it down or Caleb takes off and runs or whatever it is. Caleb should not feel pressured to get the ball to DJ Moore because of that.
Right.
Caleb just has to keep running the offense. Ben will figure out how to get the ball to DJ.
And that's I think you hit the nail on the head when you say Ben's so involved in the chess match. He's not thinking about, okay, does DJ Moore have his 6 catches today? And I think that's what makes this offense great. That's what makes this offense exciting. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like Ben Johnson is scheming open 7 receptions for a guy, right? He's scheming open 6 for Luther Burden, 7 for Cole Kmet, right? Like everybody's had their day. And you're having your day right now on the screen, just locked in. Look at that. Boom, there it is. I felt like you were getting uncomfortable with it.
I was wondering if you were going to call for a 1-shot at any point. I was like, is Pat going to do his thing? Can I get a 1?
Hey, listen. Since then, what they going to say? You know what I mean? Ever since that 1-shot, we've been running this mug.
Didn't you lose the week after the 1-shot?
We were playing really well. It was good football. No, 2 weeks after. 2 weeks after.
All right.
The one shot was the Pittsburgh game. So 2 weeks after. But no, like
I'm sorry, dude. I'm not. It's so funny to me. And again, like I've given credit. I don't think I'm Bears hater here. Yeah. But it is funny to me that you chose the game where they beat Mason Rudolph as the give me a solo shot. What are they going to say now?
Like everybody was sitting there. Oh, you gotta beat the best. You gotta beat a team with a winning record. We finally did it. That was really all it came down to. Like, you finally did it. And then you went in there and you drubbed Philly, double it up. Like, let's run it, dog.
If you had done it after the Philly game, it would have been like, damn, he can't really say anything to that.
I did kind of.
But doing it after the Mason Rudolph game, I saw it and I'm like, okay.
Hey,
God bless.
I'm not going to lie to you. I think it caught on. Because right after that, then I hear Jaquan Brisker in the tunnel. What they going to say now? And I was like,
your guy. It did. It made me, because I'm sitting there watching and I'm like, Pat, they're going to say you beat Mason Rudolph. I can tell you what they're going to say.
No, it was a good day. And you handled them handedly. You handled that defense handedly.
Who cares about them?
Yeah, dominating out here. But no, like I feel so good about the relationship that they have with DJ and Caleb and how they're continuing to progress that. I think the part you got to feel best about if you're a receiver on this team is he will get back to me.
Yeah.
No matter what, like Rome has had days where he hasn't been, where you feel like every game he should be the focal point of the offense.
Yeah.
And he wasn't. And DJ Moore was. And Luther Burden got involved. And Kyle Monangai ran the ball. Like, the bottom line is you got a bunch of dudes in this locker room right now who are like, especially DJ Moore. You heard him yesterday. He's like, 10 wins. What's this? I've never been here. This is great. This feels great. Winning feels good.
And I think you don't have an A.J. Brown situation on your hands.
No.
Here. You got to get. He would rather be winning 10 games than having 1,500 yards.
And here's what killed me about it. Shout out Justin Fields. Here's what kills me about it is I feel like people are like preparing themselves for us to move on from DJ Moore, which may happen, right? New coach, new system. You've got young players in there that you can save money and pay another position. It may happen. I'm not saying it may not. But you're almost trying to turn it into like DJ Moore has turned his back on this team, and that's why we have to get rid of him. And that to me is idiotic. And I've heard so many people try to pull out, you could see it in his body language, you could see it in his facial expression. He doesn't smile. He never smiles. When we beat Washington, he's sitting on the sideline, and Caleb's literally shaking him, hugging him, saying, it's okay to be happy. We won the game. Like, he never smiles. He's not upset. He's just got a little RBF.
Fair.
It's okay. Like, he's going to be a part of this team at least the rest of this season, and you feel – I know that that's a relationship that I think actually has worked better than some people do in football. But hey, man, appreciate y'all for tuning in, showing love, as always. How you feeling next week? You Bears dub?
Yeah, I just said that.
Oh, you did say
30 minutes ago. I said I always felt like the Bears were going to win.
Yeah, that's right. Bears dub. That's
right. But I'm a hater. I'm such a hater. Oh, you didn't say they'd sweep, hater.
I feel like some of these are just you preparing yourself for what they're gonna say.
No, I do. Who cares? I always know what's gonna be said, dude. Like you can't. It's why fan is short for fanatic, and people are supposed to love their teams.
Yeah. Now there was some fanatics this week. DJ Moore was open on there. No, he wasn't. But when Yurko lost it, that was my inner child. Just like, thank you, somebody who played in the NFL for saying this, because Emmanuel Acho, wow. That podcast is awful. Shady McCoy, Shedeur's better than Caleb if he outplays him.
Dude, that podcast.
Speak Easy podcast.
Can I just tell you?
Emmanuel Acho is nothing but teeth and takes, bro.
Free promotion from you, 1. 2, these people are
terrible. Terrible podcast. Go ahead.
Eric, if you choose to cut this, feel free. But the Shedeur Sanders stuff to me, and I've been called many things.
Yeah.
I racist, hater, all of this stuff because I've simply said I don't think that Shedeur Sanders is
a
very
good quarterback. Yeah,
I don't think he was good at Colorado. I don't think he's a good NFL player. I don't think he's any good. And you get called all these things, and the reason is because people like Emmanuel Acho and Shady McCoy and Jacina Anderson and Mel Kiper are dishonest. They are dishonest people who got angry because they felt a way about a player who was only known because he was somebody's kid and never played really well at any level of college football. Oh, he almost beat BYU. Like, at no point did I watch Shedeur in college and go, yeah, I get it. I see why people are talking about him as a first-round pick. But everybody was saying it, so of course he's going to be a first-round pick. And then we get to draft night, and he falls to the 5th round. And then everybody's like, what's happening here? Yeah. But I would ask the question to all the people who have spent the last 3 years carrying Shedeur's balls around for him. What would you have said if Dylan Gabriel put up the stat line that he put up yesterday? You would have called for his life. You would have had a field day about he never should have been drafted ahead of Shedeur. But when Shedeur puts up the stat line, radio silence, or he doesn't have any receivers, or his head coach, 2-time coach of the year, by the way, is suddenly a moron, or his offensive line's gone. Well, his offensive line could protect for 7 seconds, and he still took sacks. Yeah. So it's never been about the player. The player is like any other 5th-round pick. If it works, you fell into it by happy accident. If it doesn't, it was never supposed to. He's not that good. It's the people who talk about him who bug me because it's so lazy. It's this kid's a lightning rod and he's got a popular name and a following. So if we pimp him, then it gets us engagement. And it's not honest and it's not real.
I mean, the real arguments that do come up about Shedeur are kind of true, though, around him. I'm not saying that he's great. Last game, he was standing in there way too long holding that football.
Yeah, of course.
He was. He doesn't have any wide receivers. Kevin Stefanski sent him out there with the wrong wristband. Like, whoever's fault it is, it's the head coach's offensive coordinator's job to know you got the right plays on your wrist. He didn't have an offensive line.
I'm not, okay, hold on, because I'm not excusing any of what's going on. I'm not going to sit here and say that he did have an offensive line. He didn't. He had 4 of his 5 starters missing.
The Browns are just a bad organization.
Correct. The Browns are a horrific organization. Yes. Does he have good receivers? No. And this Harold Fannin, he might be good. I don't know.
Yeah, I like him.
Jerry Jeudy blows. He's been terrible ever since the Browns got him. The Browns are horrible, and they don't know how to develop quarterbacks
at all.
So I'm not going to sit here and say any of that. But what I would offer is, what other 5th-round quarterback has ever been given the benefit of the doubt the way that Shedeur is? No,
you're right on that. I think people's beef with him falling to the 5th has always been, we kind of can see that the 1st overall pick sucks.
Okay, but my counterpoint has always been, did he fall to the 5th round? Or did NFL evaluators not give a shit what the ESPN talking heads had to say about his talent?
I think it's twofold world, and I've always said this, and it's pretty well reported at this point. I think Shedeur walked in there like he was Deion, and you ain't Deion.
Yeah.
Deion's one of the greatest athletes of all time. And the NFL is very much, we will deal with a lot if you are a god.
I think
if you're not that guy, we will absolutely ignore that you exist.
So I will say, I think he did fall to the 5th round, but he didn't fall from the 1st round. He fell from like the 3rd.
Yeah. I'll agree with that.
I don't think NFL talent evaluators ever felt the way Mel Kiper did about him. Yeah. And I think the Giants are pretty vindicated on taking Jackson Dart. And I know Cam Ward's not very good yet, but if you pop the film on Cam Ward, there's some stuff that does make my eyes pop.
What I'll say about Cam Ward, and now we're just having a football pod. What I'll say about Cam Ward that I do like, I know he's going to put the work in to be better. You can tell the mindset, the mentality, and there are some of those moments where you go, that's when he literally just pushed Buddy off of him and then threw him. So I was like, okay, all right, I can see that.
What I will refuse to do is say any of that stuff because I'm not going to imply that Shedeur won't put the work in. I don't know anything about it.
It's not about that.
And I'll also say, Shedeur, I think, has carried himself exceptionally well with Cleveland.
Because I do think that they are kind of trying to.
Dude, they put a rake out for him to throw Jerry Jeudy under a bus, and he refused to step into the trap. He's been really impressive on the podium. I think he's carried himself really, really well, with the exception of the post-game when he was like, imagine what that looks like with a week of practice. That was the one time where I'm like, all right, a little high on your supply.
Yeah, but the entire time before that, that's the clip that goes viral. The entire time before that, he's like, great day from the O-line.
Right.
Love what my receivers did.
That's why I'm saying.
The run game gets involved. Coach called a great game plan.
Look, he's not Diego Pavia. I'll tell you that much. Diego Pavia is terrible. But, no, it's always been the dishonesty from the media around it that has bothered me more than the actual play. Because, like, imagine Dylan Gabriel puts that same stat line out. They'd be killing him.
Yeah.
Imagine if Clayton Tune, if anybody ever talked about Clayton Tune. Clayton Tune was a 5th-round draft pick quarterback.
Yeah.
He started, I think, one game. He's probably never going to start another game in the NFL again.
Yeah.
And then people were like, well, why doesn't Shedeur get the opportunity to start more? Why does he get no runway, but all these other quarterbacks do? And I'm like, you can't look at Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold was the 2nd pick in the draft. Yeah. You can't look at Cam Ward, who's the number 1 overall pick. Look at other 5th-round picks. Because unless you hit the field like that, we got something here, you probably aren't getting a lot of chances.
No, listen, especially if you're a 5th-round pick. Like, I get the conversation. My conversation was always like, if you looked at numbers to numbers, and Shedeur played in a very different league than a Cam Ward did, right? But, like, I never looked at Cam Ward and was like, wow, what a phenomenal quarterback. You went, that's a big guy that can run people over and sometimes throw the football. I felt the same way about Anthony Richardson the year before.
You watch him at Wazoo or Miami?
At Miami? Cam Ward?
He was really good.
He was good, but like I didn't think that he was this phenomenal quarterback that there was no question he could be the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah, no,
that's my point. Like it was like he's a good player.
Let me tell
Is he the best player in the draft that you should take him number 1 overall? Probably not.
If not for quarterback value, we would never be taken number 1 overall. 100%. But he was clearly the best quarterback in the draft.
Right.
And I think the numbers for numbers thing, because people look at like, Shedeur's numbers looked so good in college, but they refuse to look at sacks, which a lot of websites don't even track in college.
They don't actually, yeah. That is interesting.
And he took 1 billion of them, and they were all terrible. You don't look at that part of it. And then they go, well, look at Shedeur's numbers versus like pick your Heisman winner. And you're like, oh, it's pretty close. And then I go, okay, then look at his numbers against Gardner Minshew at UCF.
Yeah.
Because they're also close. And Gardner Minshew was a 5th-round pick, and nobody raised hell about it.
I don't know. Gardner Minshew had that run in Jacksonville. That was exciting.
But you get my point. Like in college, in college he was awesome, but nobody raised hell when he fell to the 6th round. How about when Diego Pavia this year doesn't get drafted? He's gonna raise hell. Go start a car dealership.
You know what it is? Now everyone's scared to not talk about the Pat Mahomes. What Pat Mahomes did at Texas Tech, everybody's like, "There's no chance this kid gets drafted." Like, who cares? I'm not even paying it. Maybe he goes in the 3rd or 4th round. Like, you see some of the mocks back in the day. And everybody, I think all of the pundits are scared to, like, be late to the Pat Mahomes story now. Where he comes in, it's like, well, that offense doesn't work in the NFL, but he was great his first year in the league, right? Like, so you want to be ahead of it.
I think it's a little revisionist because I remember Patrick Mahomes being billed at least as a 1st-round pick, but...
a lot of teams had him as the 3rd quarterback offered. And maybe it was but like he was the guy. Like who was it? Somebody had him below Mitch. Mel Kiper had him below Mitch, didn't he?
Yeah.
And it's like Okay, what'd you see? Because Mitch wasn't even good in college.
But again, that's where like people wed themselves to whatever Mel Kiper has to say about a player. Brother, NFL teams don't care about what Mel Kiper has to say about a player. That's why we had to watch Mel Kiper weep on draft night about how the NFL GMs aren't able to do their jobs and can't properly evaluate quarterbacks because they weren't drafting Shedeur. Yeah. And then you watch Shedeur play and you're like, Mel, brother, they just don't care about your draft sheet. They kind of get what they're doing for the most part here.
There was some, what's his worst? His worst still got to be Leaf, right?
Oh, God.
I'll quit my job if Ryan Leaf is not an NFL starting quarterback.
There was Ryan Leaf. There was, who's the kid from TCU who was like 30 years old when he came out of college? Brandon Weeden.
Brandon Weeden. The story on Brandon Weeden was he was so experienced that's why he was going to be able to just walk in and learn an NFL offense.
Yeah, and I never forget Mel Kiper just talking about Brandon Weeden. Brandon Weeden, I'm telling you, Brandon Weeden, he's the best. Brandon Weeden, going to be the number one pick in the draft. They don't know what they're doing. You're not just enough. They just don't care about your board.
He plays his character incredibly well. Hey, man, we got into just football tangent on that one. I love that. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. The show of love as always. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. For Shea Norling, it's your boy Pat the Designer. Back at it again. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Bear down. One love. Peace.